everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Marina. I'm a certified lash tech based in Toronto, Canada, and I like to make lashing videos. In all of my videos, I always put a little disclaimer that everything that I'm sharing with you guys is specifically subjective to what I like to do. I'm only here making these videos because when I started, I wish there were more avenues of learning. It was really hard for me to find some cool tips and tricks, things that I can adapt in my style. So I have created this channel so that I can help you guys out and hopefully you guys can take something away. You know, some things might work for you and others might not, but it's all part of the journey, and eventually you will be able to find your own style as well, because even though there's a base foundation for lashing, there are always ways to style them yourself and kind of have fun with it, because I do believe that lashing is an art, so you can be expressive with it. Anyway, getting into the set today, we are doing a degular kind of classic lash look. However, it is a classic full lash, so what I did to make it look fuller is use a classic lash that has a bigger diameter. And I will explain that further if in just a second. But the style that we are doing today is a cat eye style, and this is actually my client's first time ever getting lashes, so I felt so honored to be able to do this set for her. It turned out really full and really nice, and I was actually quite happy with how it turned out. She wanted something a little bit more full, but since it was her first time, she decided to stick with just classics. But at the very end, if you stay tuned, you will be able to see that it came out kind of looking like hybrids because she had so many lashes. And you got to be careful with classic lashes, especially with thick diameters. And again, I will explain that further. So for the mapping today, we have 9mm D curl in the inner corners, and then we are going to go to a 10mm D curl coming up next. Majority of the eye in the very center is 11mm D curl. Then only a little short chunk of the eye is 12. And then we have 13 double D curl, and then we have the 11mm double D curl on the very end. And so what I wanted to kind of say with this look is that the only time I would ever use a 0.20 classic diameter is if the client has really thick and long lashes. Like I've said in prior videos, that everyone's eyelashes, natural eyelashes, are very different. So they can look and hold very differently. So you want to always kind of adjust your diameters and your lengths to your clients. At the end of the day, the most important thing is not damaging the natural lash. So if she had eyelashes like mine, I have quite fragile, thin eyelashes. Therefore, I wouldn't use a 0.20 diameter on mine, because what can happen is that it's way too heavy and the natural lash can end up breaking. And what will happen then, they'll come back and want to get a refill, and you'll have all these damaged eyelashes, which is like the last thing you want to do, because we already have a negative kind of stereotype with eyelash extensions, with people thinking that they ruin it. The only time your eyelashes will be ruined from lash extensions is if the artist is doing something wrong, or the client is not taking care of their lashes properly. And so using a 0.20 classic diameter on this client turned out really, really nice and full. Sometimes it can look like a hybrid set. However, it's not going to fall out like a hybrid set, if you understand what I mean. Because with hybrid sets, they have fans. And so this is kind of what I explained to my clients when they ask the difference between the sets, and they ask differences of like, oh, well, what's the difference between a classic or a hybrid? I always say the fallout is a lot faster with classics, and also the fact that when you have fallout with hybrids, they don't look as sparse when they are falling out, because eventually you can get a lot of gaps. So make sure to communicate with that with like your first time clients. I had to let this client know because she's never had them before, so I just let her know you know, like little details like that, and that way I can make sure that she's informed when she's coming in to get these lashes done. And yeah, so that's something that I would keep in mind, and something that I would always just communicate with my clients. And The cat eye style turned out really nice. I always like to use like a shorter length within the middle of the eye. So like I said before, 11 millimeters is taking up basically most of the eye. The inner corner is like a little bit of the 9 millimeters, and I kind of like extend the 10 millimeters a decent amount, but not too much. And then the rest of the eye, like I try to get that very center of the eye, mainly 11. And then I like very, very, very small amount, I put in the 12D curl right before the 13 millimeter. And I only put a little, like a few 12 millimeter ones, because I really like that flick at the end. I find that when I have more of a jump in lengths, it kind of gives that nice Jurassic cat eye look that people are looking for. So that's just a little tip that I kind of wanted to share with you guys that kind of works for me. And you know, because when people get the cat eye look, they really want the nice flick, right? The gradual growth from inner corner all the way to that outer corner. So in order to do that, you don't want equal separation of the lengths, because if you do that, then it kind of gets lost and it starts to kind of look like not really a doll eye, but you don't get that nice gradual increase in sizes that's very popular with the cat eye style. So that's just something to keep in mind. And yeah, that's basically the look. Stay tuned if you want to see what the end looks like. At the very end of the video, I always show the slow-mo of the final set. And today, if you are interested, I'll be doing a different kind of story time today. I'm just going to be reading funny story times, nothing related to beauty or business. I just thought that it'd be kind of fun. I haven't read these myself, and I wanted to just have a raw kind of reaction with them. This is just so that I can kind of keep you guys engaged, you know, while you guys can watch this amazing, relaxing time lapse of these lashes, because I love watching time lapses of lashes as well. And like I said before, please feel free to leave any comments in the comment section below. I have been getting a few comments here and there. I've also had people DMing me on Instagram, so if you guys want to know anything about lashes at all, or if you have any questions, just feel free to shoot me a message. I've been lashing for almost 2 years now, so I've been doing a lot of experimenting. So yeah, just let me know, and I will try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. I've already answered plenty of DMs, so please don't be shy. I'm really, really friendly, so just shoot me a message and I'll be gladly available to help you guys. So yeah, stay tuned and enjoy the rest of this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Hit the like button if you found this helpful in any way. And I post every Sunday at around 6:15. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and hopefully I will have you guys come back and keep watching my videos. Thanks. Hey guys, so this is now the fun part of my video where I get to kind of tell you guys some stories. And I was initially going to do some like funny story times, but I record my voice overs like separately from the first and second half. And so I was kind of doing some digging and I realized, you know what, instead of funny, I'm going to read some cheating stories and how these people found their partner cheating. Because to me, those are always really entertaining and kind of juicy. And then I'm going to rate them from 1 to 10 to see how bad they are, or like how mad I would be kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about. So I went on an article and I found it. So there's an article on insider.com. And so I'm going to just read these stories and hopefully they're not too bad, because sometimes they make me kind of sad. I'm not going to lie. So the first story is called "She Showed Me a Picture of My Own Boyfriend." Oh hell nah, I'd be so mad. Okay, let's get into the story. I met a girl at the start of the school year who was telling me about her boyfriend in another city that she'd been dating over the summer. She mentioned his name, which was the same name as the guy I've dated at the exact same time. Curious, because 2 girls dating a guy the same name and another city seemed weird to me. I asked if he was cute, so she showed me a pic. Turned out it was the same guy. He was involved with 4 other girls who lived in Canada. To this day, I'm not sure whether or not I'm surprised or impressed. And that was by a Redditor named One That Gave You Gold. Yeah, that's pretty bad, but at the same time, like, it's bad for sure. I'd be definitely really angry, but I've heard worse. Definitely, I've heard worse, and at least you got a support system. You have 4 other girls there, so I'm gonna rate that like a 6. All right. They left unsent messages in the drafts folder. It was the initial change in behavior and then quickly closing browser windows as I got closer to the screen. Gathered some info by reading the browser history. Once I found some red flags like an email address I didn't recognize, I got more suspicious. I installed a keylogger on my computer and got the info on her new email account. She thought she was being sneaky by never hitting send. They just shared a drafts folder and left each other messages there. I printed them all out, and when I was finally ready for the confrontation, I asked her point blank about the emails I found. She told me it was her old college account and she forgot about it. I excused myself from the room, came back with the folder, printed out all the emails and said, "Oh really?" and then threw them on the dining room table. She offered me an open marriage and we could stay together. I declined. And that was a Redditor by the username, my username is not for you. Okay, that one's pretty bad, especially because I think they are married. And honestly, that's really sad. I never really understand why people cheat. This is making me kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm gonna give that one a 7. It was a little bit more intense than the first one for sure. I think marriage is, it's a lot more serious, and to cheat while you're in a married, like you're married and stuff is kind of effed up to me. Just like it's a slippery slope. Okay, I'm not married, so I don't want to put my opinion where I can't, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I thought that was kind of fucked. All right, next one. I accidentally picked up his phone. He worked nights and I had recently had his car repossessed, so I was giving him rides to work. I showed up at his house about an hour or so before his shift started and began the process of waking him up so we can get ready to go. I sat down and picked up my phone. The text messages were already open, but none of the conversations looked familiar. It dawned on me that I had picked up his phone by mistake. We had the same exact type phone. I found a goldmine of evidence in his text. He had been wooing some girl and trying to talk her into moving in with him and offering to pay her truck payment. No idea how, since he couldn't even make his own car payments. I was livid, of course. I popped my card in his phone and copied the whole conversation, then transferred it to my phone for safekeeping in case he tried to delete it or deny it. I then texted the girl and asked her if she knew he had a girlfriend, and of course she didn't. He had been playing the both of us. That was by a Redditor named Lydius. Okay, so that one was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Seems like a typical type of cheating situation with the phone. I don't know what your opinions are about going through your partner's phone, but sometimes I feel like people have strong intuitions. And with your intuition and your gut feeling, I find that a lot of the times people are usually correct. So yeah, is this one bad? Pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. But it's not too scandalous, like I'm not here freaking out. So I'm gonna give it a 7. Okay, this is gonna be my last one. I caught him in bed with my childhood best friend. Okay, alright, already the title, this one seems pretty bad. We were having a house party and I slept in a room with a friend who drank too much and needed someone to stay with her through the night. I woke up in the morning and headed down to the other room to find the door locked. I banged on the door until my boyfriend answered it half naked with my childhood best friend still in bed with him. He tried to plead his case by making it my fault for leaving him alone with another woman when they were both so drunk. This is by a Redditor named Micah Lee _Lee. Okay, that one, I'm gonna give that one a 9 because if this happened to me and that was my best friend, not only is she being betrayed by her boyfriend, but also her supposed best friend. So this one's sad. This one actually makes me really sad. Fuck her friend and fuck her man. or X-Men now, probably. Like, that's just so shady. Like, that's just, to me, that's just so messed up. Like, it makes me angry, but also, like, really sad for this girl. And I hope that this doesn't happen to any of you guys watching, or listening, I guess. That was sad. That's a 9, for sure. Alright, so that concludes the little cheating story times. I like the cheating scandalous stories, so hopefully I can do more in the future or do kind of fun story times as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Again, I post every Sunday at 6:15. If you guys found this video helpful or entertaining, please leave a like button, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in and always supporting me. You guys are the best. I love it. Thank you so much for all of you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye!